we're going to discuss about operating system process. First of all, let me introduce myself. My name is Dina Andriani.
My name is Nurjihan Alira Firdaus.
My name is Yazid Muzaki.
My name is Tahta Mahesa.
What does it mean? Definition and concept: a series of stages or actions that are interrelated. Input into desired output with a specific goal. In the context of operating system, a process is a program that is being executed and managed by the operating system to perform tasks. Entities passive and active. Process is active entity. Live, dynamics, active, execution of the program, and can interact and communicate with other processes. Program is passive entity. Stay, silent, start, statics, a block of static instruction, not directly interactive. The process of transforming a passive entity into an active entity in operating system. In the diagram below, the transformation from a passive entity to an active entity in operating system begins when a program is stored in secondary storage and is not yet running. When the user executes the program, the operating system loads it into main memory RAM and create a process control block PCB to manage the process. Once the program is in memory and PCB is created, the CPU executed the program instruction. At this point, the program becomes an active entity called a process, which a system managed by the operating system.
Next, what the difference? Process. A process is an active and dynamic entity that resides in main memory and is a program that is currently running or being executed. Processes are active entities. Program. A program is passive and static entity stored on a disk, HDD, or SSD that contains a series of instructions to perform specific tasks. Programs are passive entities. Next. Izin pakai bahasa Indonesia. Yang pertama itu ada new. New itu adalah proses yang baru dibuat. OS bekerja dengan mengalokasikan memori, membuat proses control block, dan itu belum bisa dieksekusi. Setelah new, kita masuk ke ready. Yang kedua, ready. Proses siap dijalankan, sudah memiliki semua sumber kecuali CPU. Terus menunggu giliran CPU. Banyak proses bisa berada di status ready sekaligus. Setelah ready, kita masuk ke running. Running, proses sedang dieksekusi oleh CPU. Karena hanya satu CPU core, maka hanya satu proses yang bisa berada di status ini. Itu adalah transisi dari ready ke running, diatur oleh OS. Keempat, yaitu waiting. Proses menunggu suatu event input atau output, terus akses file, sinyal dari proses lain, CPU dilepas agar proses lain bisa berjalan. Nah, setelah waiting, itu kembali ke ready untuk melakukan pengecekan. Habis ke ready, baru ke running. Nah, setelah running itu baru yang terakhir yaitu terminated, yaitu adalah proses selesai yang telah dieksekusi. Itu dikarenakan program selesai dengan normal. Next.
What does it have? Internal component of the process. Number one, program code is set of instruction that the process is performed. Number two, program counter indicating which instruction is currently being executed. Number three, stack applies to store temporal data, such a function, parameter, and global variable. And four, heat map, a heap applies to store dynamic data or allocated while the process is running. And last, data section applies to store global variable content and aim. Activity entity component. Number one, code instruction or program. Number two, data or variable or E or O. Number three, resource such as CPU, memory or file. Number four, process status. So next, for the example, I take the calculator. Okay, this for the example, internal component calculator action. Program code. The program code contains into instruction for the calculator. For example, instruction to add, subtract, multiply, and liquidate number. Program counter. The program counter show the pattern is during the execution. For example, when you press the plus button, program counter points to the add introduced. Stack storage temporary data. For example, the number of type 5 and 3 is stored temporarily in the stack during calculation. The heap stores dynamic data created while the program is running. For example, memory used to store the calculation result on. For calculation stored in the heap. The data section stores global and fixes data. For example, contains like button tables or maximum number limit are stored in the data section. And activity entity component. Code or instruction. The calculator executes instructions step by step. For the example, the instruction to calculate 5 plus 3 is executed. Data input or output. Data used by the calculate. Example, input number entered by the user, output results on the screen. Results, the calculator uses system discourse. The example, CPU to process calculation, memory to store number and result. And last, process status, the state of the calculation process. Example, running, calculating number, waiting for the user input, and terminate calculating its cost.
Okay, next we have types of process. There are two base types of process from the user, not user process, but based on user, based on something. So there are user process and system process. A user process is program executed at the user request, typically in user mode, not in the kernel system layer. For example, when you open Microsoft Word, Google Chrome, or Spotify, user written program or script. And next, there is system process. A system process is also called a kernel system. It's a process created and managed by the operating system itself, not by the user, to keep the system running smoothly. For the example, XMSX start user session in Windows. Next. Next. Oh my god. Okay, there are also process based on function. First, foreground process, a process that interacts directly with the user. For example, UI process. UI process is UI. Text bar. UI or text bar is interacts directly with the user. So this calls foreground process, something that literally interact directly with the user. Next, second, there is background process, a process that runs without running from input from the user. For example, when we are creating a file from Word or updating a file from Word, when you update the file, OneDrive automatically update or save the file before you press the save button manually. So that's called a background process, a process that runs without waiting from the input from the user. Third, parent-child process, the relationship between two processes. When one process, the parent, creates another process, the child. In this situation, in Windows situation, the parent-child could be Explorer X, creating another process. For example, when user click the Word X, the Explorer X will make another process that called Word X. Next, zombie process, a condition where the child process has finished but the parent hasn't confirmed the ended process yet. So when the user input the input exit program, when user open the Word and user exit the Word, but it's still running, that is because the Explorer X hasn't confirmed the ended process yet. So that's why it's called zombie process. Orphan process, a condition where the parent process has been terminated but the child process is still running. In this case, orphan process can be happening in Linux. Why is this happening? In the first case, from the terminated parent, because the parent not okay, I forgot why the parent terminated, but why the child is still running, because another parent adopt the child process, so the child process is running, but within different parent process. Next. Okay, so how does it happen? Opening a software. Opening a software is also making a new process. In this field, this opening a software is happening at the user process. So double click software, for example, when you double click Word X, Explorer X, aka the parent process, will send signal to kernel with through system calls. Kernel tell manager process to make a new process, and then manager process make PCB for new process. In this situation, the PCB status is still new because the PCB just have been made. And then kernel load Word X from disk to main memory, from secondary disk to main memory, and then CPU start to execute main thread from the Word X. In the situation, the PCB status is running, and when the user is done, the user exit Word X. When user exit, Word X send signal to signal to parent process. Firstly, in this case, Explorer is the parent process, and the parent process will send exit signal will confirm the exit signal and then send the exit signal to OS. Then, lastly, the OS will delete the words PCB and free memory and delete word X from the process table. Next. Okay, how does it happen with laptop start to operate? In this case, this is happening on the kernel level, kernel process. Okay, because when we actually open our laptop and press the power button, that is where all of the big process is happening. So firstly, power button is pressed. BIOS or UEFI check all the hardware first to test if the hardware is functioning properly or not. If the hardware is functioning properly, then BIOS will give the handle to bootloader. Bootloader then will load OS kernel to the memory and give the handle to OS kernel. Kernel then will make the process system idle process, system process, and session manager. Service X starts all service like Windows Update, network, and etc. And then CSRSSX and WinItX manage user session. And then there will be WinLogoX that will verify user login, and ExplorerX is launched to displays the desktop, text bar, and file manager. All user preference like themes, icon, background are loaded. Okay, next. Okay, with this picture, I will discuss to you about interrupt nesting. So it's not impossible that RAM will will switch to PCB that running to the interrupt signal. In this case, interrupt signal is a signal from hardware like mouse or keyboard. It is hard to RAM to keep switching up from the PCB to the interrupt signal, so there is something called interrupt nesting. So how does this interrupt nesting work? So first of all, when user input something from mouse or keyboard, it is happening in the user controller, and the user controller, the interrupt signal will run to the IO bus, to the IO bridge, to system bus, and then to the ALU, to register file, and then to ALU. And then in CPU or in the RAM, RAM will catch the interrupt signal and send it into the hardware abstraction layer or HAL in this kernel mode. And then HAL will call the kernel mode drivers and then IO manager, and then kernel mode driver will call the keyboard driver or the mouse driver, and then they will communicating to each other. Kernel mode driver and the mouse or keyboard driver will communicate to each other to translate what is the mean of this input from the user. So the RAM will not switching from the PCB to the interrupt signal, but interrupt signal will catch once and then send it into the hardware abstraction layer, and then will be handled by the kernel mode driver, just like that. Okay, next. Okay, thank you for your attention.